Check out this cute little starfish wreath form from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. We are going to make a cute version of this that's a little bit different than any of the other ones that I've seen. We're going to use some of this 11-foot white nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. And at first thought you would think, you're just going to wrap it, but a star shape can be a little tricky to wrap, especially one with all of these rays going in kind of different directions. So what we're going to do is just hot glue the white rope onto the reform, just shaping out the shape of the stars, what we're going to do first. So we're just going to bend that on the ray and just keep gluing that around. I thought we could cover like all of the little metal parts with rope, and then we can further decorate it from there. I kind of wanted a little bit of color to mine, and so I'll show you how I did that as well. This wreath turned out so cute, one of my favorites for sure. So just using that same piece of 11-foot, you're definitely going to be able to go all the way around here. And then you can cut it to size once you figure out exactly how long you need it to be. So that's our first row. Now we also have to cover up like this interior part. So just starting at the tip as low as you can go and gluing that up to the center. This first one I thought, maybe I would go like straight across like that and cover up that little center section. Once I did it though, I decided I wasn't a big fan of that. So I am going to cut it and do like a separate piece for each side. Some of these pieces on the side are really short, and so you can just cut your pieces down to size. I just kind of measure mine first and cut it. That way all I have to do is put some hot glue on there and glue that down to the reform. And you can kind of see the shape of this taking shape. Just a few more rungs and then we can start decorating this little guy. Now, whenever you hot glue to the reform like that, you are kind of going to have a little bit of a hot glue mess on the back. You can clean it up a little bit with hot glue. I thought one of these little Dollar Tree sand dollars would be perfect to cover the center part there where it's kind of crazy, but they're a little gray for my liking. So I'm just going to paint mine with a little ivory acrylic first, just to brighten them up because I love a good ivory sand dollar. That looks way better, and look how cute that looks there. It's going to cover up all this like rough circle portion here, and it's going to give us a cute little center to our starfish. Now, I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to keep decorating, and these are the little seashells that come in the little glass bottles from the Dollar Tree that they have all the time. And I love these white ones with the little brown spots on them. I think they're just the cutest. So I just picked out a bunch of those. Even though those come in little glass bottles, I like storing them in those little toy organizers from Dollar Tree because they can be a little tricky to get out of the box when you're crafting. So I'm going to do like one at the base of all of my little short rows of rope there, kind of in a symmetrical pattern. And then about halfway down the little longer portions, also one at each tip. So kind of an all over with this seashell. You could use whatever seashell you have. It's going to be cute. But I really love this color. I think it looks really good with that Dollar Tree white rope. So just a few more here, and then I can show you how I decided to add a little bit of color to mine. It would be really cute as is if you had a colored door, especially if you had a blue door. That would be just beautiful. While I still have it open, I'm going to tie a little twine into a quick knot here just to make a little hanger before we get any further. But this is how we're going to add color. I'm going to use some of this beautiful light blue tulle from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. I find my Crafter Square, some of them carry this all of the time in a couple different colors. I thought this color would look nice, beachy, and blue. Now, the only issue with it is it's not very wide, as you can see, but we're going to make it work. You can always overlap it if you need be. I was trying to figure out how much blue I wanted. If I double it up like that, you're going to get more blue. And so that's what I decided to go with, was like a double layer of that tulle. So I'm just going to glue that to the back of my wreath form, one section at a time. That's going to cover up this part of the wreath. Just making sure it's glued down to all of the wreath forms tightly. Then I'm going to double up another row here and kind of patchwork this together. I decided to go right next to the one that I just did and just do a slight overlap when I attach this to it. And as you can see, two almost fill the entire starfish in, but I do have a little bit left that I do have to cover still. Just kind of cutting up that little area so they don't overlap quite so much. And then just a double layer over here at the very tip of this starfish ray. Now that I have it all glued on, this is a good time to trim all of the excess fabric off of it. That way you know that it's all going to be covered and glued down tight. You won't have any holes showing through. And this material, super thin, super easy to cut. And it totally gave me that effect. And from the front, you can't even see any of the seams. So don't really worry about that if you have to overlap yours. And isn't that cute? I just love how the starfish wreath turned out. And I hope you do too. I hope it gave you some crafting inspiration.